But there's this scene where Elijah and his dad sit down over a bottle of wine and they play dominoes. Now, if you know, you know. Like, if you know what I mean by that, you just know why that scene was just so friggin' beautiful. The culture of the dominoes coming with the wine and just the modern sense of like who his son wanted to be. I just, honestly, it was just great. When I saw that, I was like, ah, this is symbolic, it's so good. My name is Sophie Hannah and this is the CINE vlog, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Netflix film Uncorked. Now, this film has come out very recently and I was really excited to see it. In fact, to be honest, I actually hadn't heard anything about it. I sat down to watch it with my husband. He was like, oh, I've seen the trailer for this and I think it looks really good. So I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. The plot is about a young guy called Elijah whose family owns a ribs business in downtown Memphis. His father dreams of him taking over the business as he was given the shop from his father, and he really hopes to pass this on to Elijah. But Elijah doesn't want the shop. He actually wants to become a master sommelier, I hope I've gotten that right, which is someone who is an expert in wine tasting. How's it all going to work out is what the film really focuses in on. Firstly, let me say, this film was just as good as I wanted it to be. There were so many good things and I'm going to tell you about them right now in the pros. Pro number one for me would have to be the direction of this film. The director is Prentice Penny, who has also done direction. I think he might actually be the executive producer on Insecure with Issa Rae. And the direction of this film is just lovely. It's just shot beautifully. What I really love is when Prentice Penny shows destinations. The way that he shows downtown Memphis, it's just a real love for the city. It's a real love for the culture and the community. Memphis is a character in this as well, just as much as the other characters. Where Elijah comes from and all that it's done in molding who he is also a character in this film. It wasn't generic. Someone really thought about it and really put in their own perspective into things. And it really actually reminded me of Melina Matsoukas, who is also involved in Insecure and shot the film Queen and Slim. Just this really taking your time with the way that you portray things in and around the characters, like making the surroundings just as big a part of what's going on in the script, in the plot. Yeah, I don't know, I have so many good things to say, but Prentice Penny, oh, I really loved what you did here. The second pro would have to be the characters, or the cast should I say. Courtney B. Vance honestly was the best thing in this for me. He played Elijah's father and you really saw just the depth to him, which is really again down to the script. You're only as good as the words that you're given. You can be a fantastic actor, but if the script isn't good, there's only so much you could do. But the script is really good, also written by Prentice Penny. And Courtney B. Vance, you really see this inner struggle in him to love his child and to want the best for his child, but also to want his child to follow in his footsteps and to follow the path that he thinks is best for his child. And he just plays it so beautifully. He has these moments of humor as well. He's so deadpan. I just really thought he was fantastic in this. Also, the main actor Elijah, who was played by Mamoudou Athie, Niecy Nash, also has to get mentioned. She just brought a real warmth to every scene that she was in. And I just think the cast was so well chosen for every single character. In terms of the cons, to be honest, it didn't really have that much cons for me. Like, I'm really gonna have to nitpick in order to find things that I didn't like about this. I think one thing is that in probably some places it was pretty slow. It's an hour and 44 minutes, but sometimes it really felt that we was taking a while to get to the story. Maybe that's because I'm impatient. Also, I think Elijah's university friends are a bit two-dimensional. Mac McGorry from How to Get Away with Murder is in this, and I just think he's really underused. It's a small thing, but those are probably the two cons that I would find in this. Moving on to the themes. This film was rich in themes. Honestly, it was. Number one would have to be family and family expectations. And who hasn't felt that? Who hasn't felt that their family expected something from them or of their life that was probably maybe different from what you wanted for yourself? That more so came through culturally in this film. Now, the culture in this isn't played up. They are a black family, but this could have been any family who has a strong culture. I think the way that this looked at family and how it can support us and sometimes sometimes hold us back in certain instances. I think it was really well shown and really well balanced, so that you weren't disliking the kind of pressure that his family were putting on him, on Elijah. You could more understand it and understand where they came from. The second theme would probably be tied up with the first one, which is this idea of tradition and culture versus, I guess, more modern living and individuality. And I guess the way that this is explored in the film is, can they go together? Like, can you fuse your culture and your family's expectations, your heritage or whatever, with a more modern sense of living, like a more modern interpretation of your identity? Elijah's part of the rib shop, it's in his blood, but then he has this desire which is completely far removed from anything that his family's ever experienced, and it's like, can they be put together? Like, where does he fit into all of this? How does he move on to something that's maybe a bit more modern and a bit more rogue from what his family expects, but still let them know that he's not leaving behind everything that's molded him and helped him to become the person that he is? And there is this really beautiful scene in the film that really brought this together, this idea of the old and the new, tradition versus the modern way, where I don't even know if I should be giving this away, but I'm going to because I love this scene so much, so it's not a spoiler. But there's this scene where Elijah and his dad sit down over a bottle of wine and they play dominoes. Now, if you know, you know. Like, if you know what I mean by that, you just know why that scene was just so friggin' beautiful. Just this idea of the culture of the dominoes coming with the wine and just the modern sense of like who his son wanted to be. I just, honestly, it was just great. When I saw that, I was like, ah, this is symbolic, it's so good. But I love it. Prentice Penny, honestly, I want to watch anything there is that you do, because I just think you do it so well. There's also a theme of fathers and sons, and I guess how a son grows up to be a man and to be himself in the shadow of his father, and coming out of that shadow and finding who he is, but still being able to relate to this man who has been this role model in your life. Also, I really love the diversity that this showed of the black experience. Something interesting, my husband was saying to me, if anyone had told you that this film was about, you know, if someone wrote down the plot of this film, would you be interested? Guy wants to become like a wine taster, but his father doesn't want him to. Like, it doesn't sound that interesting, but for me it really showed a range in the dreams of people of ethnicities, because we've often seen films of people from a certain ethnicity or of a black background wanting to become, you know, musicians or rappers or singers or basketball stars or what have you, but this was talking about, actually, we're a very diverse people and we have dreams of being everything and anything. Our dreams are just as diverse as we are as a people. Now, in terms of the ratings, now you've guessed it, you know I'm gonna rate this quite high. Like, I obviously like this film, I'm obviously very passionate about it, and out of a rating of 5 burgers, I rate my film according to burgers because I absolutely love burgers, and I would give this 4 burgers. This was a juicy damn burger. It was really good. It tasted so nice, it was succulent. I would have it again. It more than filled the spot. It was something that was just so enjoyable as you digested it. You have to watch this film, so make sure that you watch it. It's on Netflix, it's not going anywhere. Now, I always love to end my vlogs on a question, and today's question would be, what father-son relationship in film is your favorite? So, for example, like The Godfather between Michael and his dad, was that your favorite father-son relationship? Please let me know where down below in the comments. While you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to also follow me on social media. Everything's down there. Press the red button. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers this year, which isn't that far away, but in this time of lockdown, what else is there for me to do but to capture my captive audience? So please keep on watching, please support, please let me know what it is that you're watching or what you think I should be watching, and I'll be happy to review it. But until the next time, I'll be seeing you soon.